Hey, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Nick and Knarf, who answer the question, what are these two old men doing on my screen right now? Seriously, though, we're two brothers in Tucson bringing you music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, both ways. And today, Frank wanted to go with someone that we think is an amazing talent, but it seems like he can't stay with one group. Who is that, Frank?
It's two amazing talents, Nick. These are two of the great frontmans of rock and roll. I love these two songs. These two songs came out in the same year, 1991, and I thought I'd throw them together. Nick hasn't heard these before. I think you're going to dig them. Our two stars are Ric Ocasek of the famous The Cars and the immortal and still alive Roger McGuinn.
Frank.
He's still alive, unfortunately. Oh, poor Rick left us in 2019.
Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead.
Anyway, we got two songs. I know Nick's going to love it, and I know you guys are going to love it if you haven't heard it. From two albums, like I said, released in 1991. Ric Ocasek's album, Fireball Zone. It's his third solo album, and from Roger McGuinn, it's his sixth solo album, but the first one he'd made in 10 years called Back from Rio.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to start with Ric Ocasek, but let me fill you in about Ric Ocasek. He was obviously he was in the 2018 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with The Cars. He had 7 solo albums and 6 solo singles.
I love The Cars.
7 albums with The Cars. Unfortunately, he died in 2019 of heart failure.
Really?
Yeah. He was 75 years old. A distinctive voice, one of the big founders of The Cars, and one of the most distinctive sound voices in all of rock.
Right.
And then Roger McGuinn, amazing. He's been around forever and ever. He was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Byrds in 1991.
Voted, by the way, number 45 in Rolling Stone's top 100 of all time.
Aren't they made? The Byrds were great. He had this album, Back from Rio, was, like I said, his 6th album released in 1991. Roger did 10 solo albums, had 3 solo singles, 15 live and comp solo albums that he worked with other people. And then all the work, obviously, with the Byrds and all of his other musical connections.
His own line of guitars.
His own line.
That's pretty cool.
Famous for his 12-string Rickenbacker.
He's 82 years old.
82.
We're all getting old. This sucks.
Well, what you're going to dig is the extension of the personas of who they were as frontman for the bands carried over into these songs. We're going to really dig it. So, but before we get into it, we'd like to invite you, first of all, if you have not, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing with your friends. Hit that like icon especially. That helps us get it out. And if you have subscribed, we want to thank you again, as always, for being a part of the group. Anyway, okay, we are going to kick it off first. I'm going to look forward to seeing what Nikki thinks of this song. This is Ric Ocasek singing his big hit song from this 1991 album, Fireball Zone. It is Rockaway. Here we go.
My guess is I've not heard this. Right there.
It's so tight. Gonna crash, 'cause in a nutshell, there's a real hell in a bombshell, in an inkwell. Gets hard to tell. Yeah, you gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. You gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. Ooh, you gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. Little bit of time, gotta rock away.
Is that him playing?
Oh, no. He's a rhythm guitar.
Ooh. Crazy.
In a nutshell, there's a real hell in a bombshell, in an inkwell. It's hard to tell. 'Cause it's hard to tell. You gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. You gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. You gotta rock away, yeah, yeah. Rock away. You gotta rock away. Come on, rock away. You gotta rock away.
Hey, what do you think, Nikki?
Well, I liked it. My problem is I want to compare it to other car songs, and of course, it's really hard to
Yeah.
put them up on that pedestal like they are. But I love that lead guitar, and that bass line was really good. I would have liked to have the drummer do a little bit of something different other than, just that.
I think it's
But
pretty nicely
he
produced.
I love his voice. His voice is so iconic. And it was pretty. At first, I was saying, I'm not sure I like this production. But then it did all come together. It sounded really good.
I can hear, you hear the Cars, because obviously Ric Ocasek is carrying the load of that Cars idiom into the future. And it isn't exactly the kind of a song the Cars would do. It's much faster, but it's a catchy beat, and it really just sweeps you up. And it's just got some tasty riffs and you're right, with his unique voice. He really makes the song distinctive because of his voice.
I mean, the guy is so good. He's so iconic. He's one of those guys that as soon as he starts singing, you know who he is. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
This song was a pretty big hit for him, by the way, too.
Was
the
it?
album was fairly well received. In fact, I was doing some research on it, and one critic was saying he thought it was better than a lot of the stuff he obviously didn't like the Cars doing. He said they're repetitive and they're this, but this one's a little better, but I don't think so.
Stop it.
But it's a tasty song. I think it's
Where
very
is it
tasty.
in the order in the album? Is it on like the first song?
It's like a second or third song, I believe. Yeah, but it's a terrific. It's really a pretty good album. But this song was a signature
and you said
hit
it
for
was
him.
91?
91, the same year that the next song came out.
So he was
that we're
like
playing.
50.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He was born in 75 and 19, so he would be 80. So in 91, he was 41, right? No, 51. Yeah, 51.
Sounded good.
Anyway, what'd you guys think of Ric Ocasek doing Rockaway from his solo album?
I'm sure Andy will know who was playing lead guitar and what band he played with, and you probably saw him in Portland somewhere.
This is great.
Down by the river.
In a van. Yeah, hey, let us know. Leave us your comments. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, this next one, I love this song. This album was played a lot, along with the Ric Ocasek album, when they both came out in 1991. Our rock station here in Tucson, KLPX, there were two bigger songs that were actually hits. This one I'm going to play wasn't technically a hit, but they played this as a deep cut off of this album. which, like I said, was his first solo album after 10 years.
Wow.
We were trying to look if he actually was living in Rio and then came back to the States, but we couldn't find anything.
We were going like, no, nothing. It doesn't say where he was living after he left.
But if you're a Roger McGuinn fan, you're going to dig this, or a Byrds fan, because you're going to hear elements of 8 Miles High, Mr. Spaceman, and I Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star in this song. It's clever. First of all, I got to tell you who played on this album with him. Listen to these names who played on this album with him. You had Elvis Costello, David Crosby, Chris Hillman, Michael Penn, Tom Petty, Timothy B. Schmidt, among others. It was just an incredible production, and they really came to bolster Roger McGuinn's first solo album in a
Jerry
long time.
Mather as the Beaver.
Anyway, what's fun about this song is not only that it's really a hot rockin' song, but it's kind of a little piece of Americana at the time. The title of the song is Carphone. Just when car phones were starting to come out, and they were like the hottest thing. Remember, everybody had those big car phones that would perch in your inside of your car. Yeah. And finally, people were starting to get into it. I mean, nothing like now. Everything's convenient. But back then, this was a big deal. But it's a great rockin' tune, and we're looking forward to cutting it for you. So here we go from Roger McGuinn's Back from Rio. Here it is, Carphone.
I getcha.
Mr. said I love you, Chris. Can't stand to see you kill yourself like this. He's talking on the carphone.
His voice.
From the driveway of his own home. Chris is running from the FBI. He's been indicted as a foreign spy. He tells her on his carphone. He thinks they're both alone. Talking on the carphone. I stole $1 million fake Nintendo chips, but never laid it across your lips. Then I told you on the carphone, for the writing on the gravestone.
Gotta be Schmidt, right?
Probably.
I'm gonna help you get that acting job. Got you a lawyer from the mob. He tells her on his carphone, sends a shiver up her backbone. Talking on the carphone. Talking on the carphone. And if there's anyone in space, what they learn about the human race, will be from listening to us. Talking on the carphone.
Here's the lead. Wow. Right here.
8 Miles High.
Receiver in the trunk explode as he calls him on his carphone, pushing buttons on the touchstone. Orange flames across the center line. You can see it on the news at night because he had a carphone. He really got his mind blown. And if there's anyone in space, what they learn about the human race will be from listening to us. Talking on the carphone. I hear you talking. You're not alone.
Listen to this.
Talking.
Check this out.
Talking on the carphone. Hear him talking on the carphone.
Hi, Stephanie, this is Mark.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine. I was wondering if you wanted to come over to my house for dinner tonight.
Oh, I can't. I'm on my way to the airport right now.
What? Are you in your car?
I put
in a car. He blew his mind out in a car. What do you think, Nikki?
Oh God, I have so much to say. First of all, his voice could be used in a scene of the Californians
Oh, jeez.
on Saturday Night
What
Live.
are you doing?
What are you doing? I heard back in the USSR on some of that.
Oh, hey, now that's an interesting pickup.
The other
Very
thing is,
good.
I'm so close. I worked for the phone company in California for 17 years. So I sold the very first mobile phone to be used in a car at one of our GTE phone marts in 1983. I had one of those mobiles in 91 when I was the service manager for the Northwest Territory. So it was just giving me so many flashbacks. His guitar was just so cool. I loved it. And I can really hear the Tom Petty influence in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Ridiculous. I love the guy. How can you not love?
What a tasty tune. And you know what's so fun about this song? Because back then, I mean, that was really a technical breakthrough. You know, being able to call from a car up to a satellite. It's so few people had that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's now we just take it for granted. But that's why, and then obviously all the attendance stuff. It's sort of like he's trying to kind of comparing it to the onslaught of television that was going to change culture and all kinds of weird things were going to happen.
Wow.
Well, it has really.
Wow.
But, you know, I love that stealing from the Beatles. He blew his mind
That
out
was
in a
hilarious.
car.
Oh, so good. You know?
This song is just so tasty. And the rest of this album is really tasty, too. He's got this song called Someone to Love. It's a beautiful song. I might play it for Nick after we're done. But I really wanted to play this one because it's fun, because it takes a little piece of American history in the early 90s when things were really exploding technologically. And then it was his first comeback album after 10 years.
Question, did anybody, you guys see him in concert?
I never
Was
got
he-
to see Roger
I
or
can't
the Byrds,
believe you wouldn't have
unfortunately.
seen him.
I wish I
In
had.
the
I mean,
90s, right?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if he came to town or not. And I never saw him or what.
Wow.
I mean, he kind of, after the Byrds broke up, he kind of went into a bunch of solo projects and did a lot of cooperative albums with other people and performed and toured with them. But I don't know how much touring he did himself, you know, a lot. I think he was very selective in his touring when he did it. But
Now, I'll be honest
he's an
with
icon.
you.
He's an
Between
icon.
the two songs we did today, this one I would remember a lot more. You know, because the line was just, it kind of grabs your attention.
Yeah, it was a tasty song, and I just thought it was cool because they both released the same year, and we haven't done a frontman solo show where we had a former frontman from a band doing a solo thing, and I thought this would be a perfect combo, and I'm glad Nick enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and
I dug it. It was funny. I mean, it really was just putting so many memories on my head. And like Frank said, boy, you could hear that 8 Miles High. You could hear, hey, Mr. Spaceman. And I really, trust me, I was listening to it and I'm going, if you listen to it again, you hear some parts where you go, that background sounds like back in the USSR.
Yep. Back in the USSR was a great choice. Great call.
Yeah.
Anyway, we really hope you enjoyed our presentation today of both Ric Ocasek and Roger McGuinn doing solo songs from their solo albums. And if you enjoyed what you heard, leave us your comments. First of all, let us know what you thought. And if you did enjoy it and you haven't, please subscribe, like, and share. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you because we care for your ears.
Send it around.
Hit that like icon for us and all our subscribers again. Hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate you being here. Till next time, Nick and Knarf signing off.
Ciao, Bambini. Peace out to all.
See you guys.
Bye.